Factsverse presents Amazing Magic Tricks Revealed. Number 1. The Statue of Liberty disappears. This is one of the most amazing magic tricks revealed. In 1983, David Copperfield attempted to make the Statue of Liberty disappear. Not only were people watching in person, there were also plenty of people watching on television as well. This was to be the biggest trick of his career, and he pulled it off. Since nobody has the power to make something disappear, especially as big as the Statue of Liberty, there had to be a trick to this. Now, the people watching, they were on a rotating platform, but they didn't know that. While performing the trick, he slowly rotated the platform so that the audience didn't even know it was happening. Next, he used light to illuminate the entire statue. He then used only spotlights, and they were set up to blind the audience. When the lights turned off, the audience was facing in the other direction without realizing that they had been moved. The whole time, the statue was behind them. Number 2. The Floating Man. There are many magicians who make it look as though they are floating in air. Since people can't really fly or float, it's obvious that these magicians are using props to make it look as though they are sitting on air. In most cases, a steel structure is placed under the performer's baggy clothes. To cover the steel structure that's on the ground, flowers are often used. The magician will wear baggy clothing so that nobody can see the metal that they are sitting on. It's a very simple trick to perform if you have the right prop. Number 3. Walking on water. Magician Criss Angel performed a trick that shocked his audience. Part of the reason is that the trick was performed in complete daylight in front of a live audience. The show's venue was actually in the middle of a pool at a popular Las Vegas hotel. Angel told his audience that he could walk on water. He moved slowly and he managed to walk on water. What the audience didn't know is that the pool was prepared ahead of time. Before the show, he installed clear pegs in the water to walk on. The pegs looked so good that you couldn't even tell they were under the water. He moved carefully from peg to get from one side of the pool to the other. The audience was ushered out of the area so that the pegs could be removed from the pool before anybody discovered they were there. Number 4. The Signed Card Trick. If you're a fan of America's Got Talent, you know that many competing magicians use the signed card trick. The magician would have one or all the judges sign a card. Next, they would tear it into 4 pieces in front of the audience. When the magician shows the audience the signed card that is no longer ripped, the audience and the judges are amazed. The trick is actually very simple. The magician has a folded card in his pocket. He uses a sleight of hand to put the signed card in his pocket and then tears up the spare card. Next, he will use sleight of hand again to put the torn card in his pocket and show the audience the signed card that never was torn. Number 5. Swallowing a sword. While many magic tricks are simply illusions, the swallowing sword trick is not an illusion. The people who perform this trick are actually swallowing a sword, which of course is incredibly dangerous. It takes years of practice for a sword swallower to hone his craft. The trick is to line up your throat and stomach so that they make a straight line, and that makes it possible for the sword to safely go down the magician's throat. If it's not done precisely, they can be gravely injured by the sword. Number 6. The Knife-Throwing Trick. This trick has an assistant on a wheel that spins. While the wheel is spinning, the magician throws knives. Each knife misses the assistant's body by mere inches. The trick looks extremely dangerous and scary. Well, the assistant is never really in any danger at all. The wheel the assistant is tied to is specially made. When the magician throws the knives, he's actually not throwing them. He simply palms the knife. At the same time, a knife will spring out from the back of the target. It makes it look as though he has perfect aim and that the assistant is in mortal danger the entire time. Since the knives are strategically placed behind the wheel, the assistant is never in any danger. Number 7. Cutting a woman in half. One of the most popular tricks of all time. It's been done for years, a woman being cut in half. Since a woman could actually not be cut in half, without dying, there has to be something else going on here. Well, to perform the trick, the magician uses 2 assistants. However, one of the assistants is kept hidden. When the assistant is placed in the box, she will bend herself in half, but you won't know this. In the bottom half of the box, the other assistant is bending herself in half but leaving her feet hanging out for the audience to see. When the audience looks at the box, it looks as if there was just one woman lying there. When the magician cuts the box in half, it looks like the woman is being sawed in half. In reality, he is sawing in between the 2 women. The assistant at the top yells and screams to make the audience believe that she's being sawed in half when, in reality, we all know the assistant is perfectly safe. In fact, both of them are. There are some magicians who use smaller boxes. Because the box is smaller, there is no room for a second person. In this case, a fake set of feet is used. There are often robotic legs, too, so that it'll look like the woman is still moving her legs. Subscribe for more!